Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest anxieties for anyone using the cloud, and that's cost. We're going to break down exactly how you can manage your Google Cloud spending and, most importantly, avoid those dreaded billing surprises. I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? How do you tap into all that incredible power of the cloud without that nagging fear of an accidental runaway bill? It can be paralyzing. But here's the good news. Google Cloud has a whole bunch of tools and pricing structures that are specifically designed to put you firmly in control, right from the very beginning. All right, so where does that control even begin? Well, it actually starts with Google Cloud's whole philosophy on pricing. See, even before you set up a single budget or alert, the entire structure is designed to be flexible and, just fair, right out of the box. Okay, a huge part of this is per-second billing. This was a real game changer that Google actually pioneered. You have to remember, it used to be the norm to round up to the nearest hour. But now, with services like Compute Engine and Kubernetes Engine, the meter stops the very second you stop using them. It means you pay for exactly what you use and not one single second more. And get this, on top of that, Google actually rewards you for consistent use, and it's all automatic. So if you run a virtual machine for more than a quarter of the month, you'll start getting these sustained use discounts for every single minute after that point. And the best part? You don't have to do a thing. No signups, no commitments, the savings just show up on your bill. Okay, so those automatic savings are a fantastic foundation to build on. But the next level of control? That comes from actively customizing your setup. Google really gives you the power to tailor your infrastructure to your exact needs. And that's a massive lever you can pull to manage your costs. And this right here is such a key concept. Instead of getting stuck with these predefined, t-shirt-sized virtual machines that might not fit your workload, Google lets you tailor one perfectly. With custom virtual machines, you can fine-tune the exact amount of vCPU and memory your app needs. So you're not forced to buy a large just because you needed a little more memory. You get to create a completely custom fit for both your workload and your budget. It's awesome. Oh, and a quick tip before you even deploy anything, you can map out your spending. The online pricing calculator is a fantastic tool for this. It lets you play around with different configurations so you can plan your budget well in advance. Super useful. All right, so just to recap, we've got a fair pricing model and the ability to build custom resources. Now let's dive into the active tools Google gives you to really put you in the driver's seat of your own finances. Your first line of defense here is going to be budgets. It's incredibly straightforward, but so powerful. You can set a budget for your entire billing account, or if you want to get more granular, you can apply budgets to individual projects. And you can set it as a fixed dollar amount or even tie it to a percentage of what you spent last month. Really flexible. Of course, a budget is only really useful if you know how you're tracking against it, right? And that's exactly where reports come in. This is a visual tool that gives you a super clear, at-a-glance breakdown of your spending. It lets you pinpoint exactly which projects or which services are driving your costs. Okay, so having a budget is great, but what you really need is to know when you're getting close to its limit before you actually cross it. This is where the whole budget system turns into a proactive notification tool, and that's precisely what alerts are all about. And the process is it's incredibly simple. Let's just walk through this example together. First, you set a monthly budget. Let's say it's $20,000. Then you create an alert rule to ping you when you hit 90% of that. So as soon as your spending reaches $18,000, boom, you get an email. It's timely information, not a nasty surprise at the end of the month. Now, a lot of people tend to set alerts for the 50, 90, and 100% marks, and that's a great starting point, but the system is totally flexible. You can customize these thresholds to whatever makes the most sense for your team and your workflow. Think of them as helpful checkpoints along the way. Okay, so you've got fair pricing, custom machines, budgets, and alerts. You're feeling pretty good. But what about the ultimate safety net? I mean, what happens if something goes really wrong, like a bug in your code that just goes wild or even a malicious attack? Well, that is where quotas come in. This quote from the official documentation really gets to the heart of it. You see, quotas aren't just some arbitrary limits designed to annoy you. They are a fundamental protection mechanism. They're designed to prevent that runaway resource consumption, and in doing so, they're protecting not only your account, but the stability of the entire platform for everyone. It's a really important concept. So quotas basically come in two main flavors. And the simplest way to think about the difference is speed versus quantity. You've got rate quotas, which are all about speed. They limit how many times you can do something in a short period. Think API calls per minute. And then they just reset. And then you have allocation quotas, which are all about quantity. They limit the total number of a certain resource you can have in your project, period. Here's a perfect example of a rates quota in action. By default, your project can make up to 3,000 API calls to the Google Kubernetes Engine service every 100 seconds. After that time is up, the counter just resets, and you can make more calls. It's a simple mechanism that prevents a single buggy script from overwhelming the entire system. And for an allocation quota, check this out. By default, a project is limited to a total of just 15 virtual private cloud networks. That's a hard limit on the quantity of that particular resource. Now, it is worth noting that you can often request an increase for these quotas if your project genuinely needs more. They're not always set in stone. So there you have it. From per-second billing and automatic discounts, all the way to customizable alerts and those built-in protective quotas, you have a full suite of tools to manage your spending. The whole idea is to replace that fear of the surprise bill with the confidence that comes from being in control. So the only question left is, now that you have that control, what amazing things are you gonna go build?